Hello, everyone. Welcome in and happy Friday. I have no announcements this week, so if you've liked what you've seen on my channel this week, give me a comment down below to let me know which content to keep producing. So let's dig into everyone's weekends. Okay, is it going to be a good weekend for Aries? We're going to use the yes or no spread as we usually do each Friday and dig in to see what it's going to be. Okay. Oops. King of Pentacles wanted to fall out there. Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, Hermit, card of Virgo, Strength card of Leo, Hanged Man, Two of Swords, and Queen of Pentacles. Remember the King of Pentacles tried to pop out there? Page of Cups and Eight of Wands. Okay. This feels like a little bit of a challenge this weekend. Trying to... It's almost like trying to come to terms with something you don't actually need to come to terms with. This feels like unnecessary worry is what it feels like. Okay, it feels like unnecessary worry. And also, there's also some resistance here on how to exactly, change what would need to be changed in order to not worry anymore. Like, don't want to see the problem, holding back from seeing the problem, but still wanting the thing. It's kind of like, because we have the King of Pentacles pop out there, that's Taurus energy. There's the desire for partnership to such an extent, but there is the shrugging off of the work that needs to be done in order to attract the partnership that's wanted. Okay. There is, I don't know if you have a specific person in mind, if this feels more general, like more overreaching theme, like an Aries that really wants relationship, but without having to do all of this. I mean, you can do that, but you'll just come back to this. This is the loop that you'll have to keep repeating. I understand not wanting to embrace the work because the work sucks. It does. It's hard. It is so hard. It's the hardest thing that we do. And so having the courage to move forward is the key in order to get the thing that you want the most. Okay. Soul bonded, Ten of Cups. Okay. Cancer, Aquarius energy underneath the Leo energy. So the resistance in not wanting to see the discoveries that are being made, it's hard to look in the mirror. It really is. It's hard to look in the mirror and say, well, maybe I'm attracting people because something with me. What is it something with me? Should I at least, investigate and see? Okay, because then even when you investigate and you see, it's something where you could still go, I'm still not going to do anything about it. Or screw that, that's not true. Or, okay, maybe I'll go take a class, go to therapy, learn to meditate, whatever it is, to help you face and resolve. Because the resistance of the unknown. Okay. Moon, Pisces energy, Tower, that's Scorpio energy. There's huge awakening transformation awaiting you. And is that warm and fuzzy? No. Hell no, it's not. That's why no one wants to do the work. But it's the most gratifying thing to actually do the work. There's such desire for forward momentum toward someone, toward the idea of partnership, connection, relationship. Okay, because this feels like wanting to jump past all the studying and just take the exam. I'm hearing again, whoever that's for. Okay, there's this is not easy. It is not fun, but it looks like trying to wrestle through most of the spread is the facing the self. That's the majority of the mental struggle this weekend. Because it's like, why can't I just have, it's like, but, and this is something that triggers some people. Have you prepared for the thing that you want? Have you prepared? Preparedness equals worthiness. Have you prepared? It's time to prepare. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, Taurus. Let's see if it's going to be a good weekend for you guys. Good weekend for Taurus. Okay. Let's go. Four of Pentacles. Emperor, card of Aries. Excuse me. King of Cups, that's Scorpio energy. Five of Wands. Nine of Swords. Knight of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. Six of Cups. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit. Still not used to this angle. I'm traveling, I'm trying to make do. It's a bit of a struggle this weekend. It feels all mental, emotional. It doesn't feel like it's in your physical world yet. I feel like you're thinking about an argument before the argument has to be had. Does that make sense? You could be withholding from an emperor who actually does love you. I'm not saying you don't have a reason to. It could be a father, it could be a husband, it could be a boss, it could be an Aries. It could be an Aries. There's something there where you're analyzing every angle of the fight before it happens, which is not a bad idea, so you don't just pop off with something random, right? And make things worse when they didn't have to be if you thought about it a little bit more. There's something here where you're trying to, it almost feels like you're trying to keep this at bay while you put in some sort of backup plan, because you know that this is going to go south. Okay? You know that this is going to go south. Okay? And you're trying to make the new plan stick before it goes south. It could be friends, it could be childhood friends, it could be whoever you built a rapport with, not necessarily a romantic soul bond, but your friends could be soulmates for sure. There's something here where you're trying to get something in place before this goes to shit, because you have the feeling that it's inevitably going to do that. So you're trying to just do your best to almost, I mean, because at the beginning of all this, you could have thought, you know what, I'm going to just burn this bridge to the ground. Fuck this whole situation. But this is telling me there's something more methodical about your process that you feel is important to have intact, that maybe certain things aren't revealed up front so the other person could screw you over sooner before you have this in place. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's an, you're telling me there that there's an pending argument here with this emperor because of someone that doesn't want to change. And no matter what it is you say, they won't move. No matter what you say, they won't move. I'm hearing I've explained it to them already multiple times. I've explained it to them already multiple times. So all this is done, there you are. All this is done is strain you. All this is done is strain you. Is there there's a secret victory right here. There's a secret victory here. You're playing with your best poker face, with your cards close to your chest. So there's not the wrong kind of fallout. The kind of fallout that would be a detriment to you. Okay. There's a little bit of fear in this transition, but you know it needs to happen. You know it needs to happen. You know there's an element of trust here, trust with yourself, your abilities, those that are supporting you through this process, that you're going to be moving into calmer waters. You know it's going to get better where you're going. You know it's going to be better where you're going. Okay. Okay. So if you have a chance to step away from this energy this weekend to give yourself some peace, I highly recommend. Okay. You're doing great prep work. You're doing what you need to do in order to safeguard a new beginning that needs to be in place before you light the match on this whole thing. Okay. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, Gemini, let's see if it's going to be a good weekend for Gemini. Okay. Oops. Try that one more time. There we go. Okay. Still getting used to this angle. 3 of Wands, 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups. The World, that's fixed energy. 4 of Cups, 9 of Wands. 5 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. 6 of Pentacles. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good weekend. I feel like you're sticking to your vision. This feels like a new vision too. This does. It feels like a new vision. There's a Gemini here that's really committed to long-term happiness with a soul bond. Okay. We have fixed energy here, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, for those of you keeping track of Zodiac. Excuse me. There's an understanding. It feels like this is a review of the past while going about doing your business this weekend. Okay. Of understanding, oh, that was a soul bond. That was long-term happiness with another person. It was something that closed out that I missed out on. Okay. That I gave very little to. And now upon review, it's like, this is something that I want. Not necessarily with this person, but this kind of bond. I'm accepting that this is something that I want, which is the first step in changing a vision or adding a new one. You thought that letting this connection close, you thought that was a win, but it wasn't, was it? No, it wasn't. You thought that was some sort of victory. It wasn't. So something happened that catalyzed some healing on your part for you, that stabilized your energy a little bit more, stabilized the vision. I'm getting that the wrong person, see how there's 2 people up here and 1 getting kicked out down here? The wrong person was let go. But sitting with this realization is very important so you know what next steps to take on how you want to change your life. And you are the only one standing in the way of you getting everything that you want, and it's all right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. There's the wall. King of Wands, Sun, Queen of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Long-term, stable happiness with another person, with your match. With your match. Double Leo energy there for those keeping track. Okay. So the first point is the acceptance that you actually have all the control. Okay. No one else did this to you. This was let go. Whatever choices were or were not made are still choices that need to be owned, processed, and moved forward from. Okay. It's okay to accept that you want something different now than what it is that you have been choosing. Okay. And there's a stubbornness there. It's like, I don't want to turn around and see this dream that I actually secretly want. I don't want to see it, but it's there. It's not going anywhere. The vision is still going to stay there. No matter how long you stay in the thing that you're in, this vision will prevail in some form or another. Okay. So it's up to you on what it is you want to do with that moving forward. Good luck, guys. Cancer. Let's see if it's going to be a good weekend for you guys. Is it going to be a good weekend? Cancer. Okay. Still getting used to this stuff setup. We have Justice card of Libra, King of Swords. Also, that's Aquarian energy. Nine of Swords, High Priestess, card of Pisces, Knight of Cups, Five of Wands, Four of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Death card of Scorpio. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Okay, get this. Okay, this is pretty good all over the place. So I feel like there's kind of like a domino effect, which has been happening in your life, and it's kind of culminated into your weekend, your coming weekend. I feel like after a long, this could have been a legal battle. Okay, a long going back and forth. Okay, with someone. Got it. Okay. This could have been someone who you loved or they loved you, but there ended up being feelings that had been, it's almost like there's been some, like love has been nothing but a fight with this person, and it ended up, you guys could have ended up getting divorced. There's something here where it feels like you're at peace finally, even though this doesn't look this way. Okay. After this fight, I'm seeing someone like, who moved out into their own place, and maybe they got something in their new place that they didn't have in their place with this person. Like, say, for example, they have a house, they moved into a house with a pool. Okay. And this person never wanted a pool because of whatever reason, maintenance, upkeep, whatever. But now that you get to be by yourself, separate from this, you get to have those things and enjoy those things that you've always wanted. So you have your pool. So you moving into this is really good because you're growing into your energy. You're expanding into your real energy, because somewhere with here, your energy was compartmentalized. Okay. You could only show so much of yourself to a certain degree, or this person either couldn't handle that, couldn't support that, or didn't like it. But this is why they're now gone. Okay. And now you've got some peace and freaking quiet around your pool. Yeah. I commend you for trying to kind of harden your heart as you went through this transition. That seemed to help a bit, because it's like you knew it was over, so now you knew you had to go through the motions of the process. Okay. And it looks like this person dragged the disconnect out for a long time. But it's made you question, is there even love there anymore? Is there anything worth starting over? Well, this was a fated thing. So you could move into the direction of someone you find very attractive, who you associate as the Queen of Wands with the Sun. Okay. Your energy was supposed to free up so it could move freely. It could move forward without delay. Okay. No more sleepless nights, no more anxiety about this. We're just poolside this weekend, enjoying a drink by the pool in the sun. Not bad, guys. Enjoy. All right, Leo, let's dig in to see if it's going to be a good weekend for you guys. Good weekend for the Leo. Let's see. Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Five of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. So this is workable. This is workable. This could end up being a great weekend. Okay. There's a little bit of apprehension about approaching a new long-term situation. Okay, because of this thing called lessons learned and experience. Okay. So, of course, the desire to not pull the trigger, to hesitate, to go over it over and over. Okay. It's kind of dominating the weekend. But being the fixed fire sign you are truly capable of coming to a decision and allowing your courage to carry you into a new beginning. Okay. Let's see what happened here. There's something here where in the past you've been in something that wasn't exactly fair to you. Specifically, it's there was an equal give and take here. Someone expected you to show up for them without doing the same. That could have been a divorce, but that's kind of that feels too broad. It feels specifically that someone's heart was broken because of something wasn't fair. Something wasn't fair. And so the desire to get into something new, although there is the excitement for it, there's also the fear. There's the wall. Wanting to move on it. This feels like it's something that's easy to obtain for you. So the only obstacle in your way is you. It's like this could be a new cycle, new goals planted with someone new. And this does feel like relationship. It does feel like relationship. It could be a new business, but it feels like relationship. Because the amount of confusion around the heart center is showing that it's because of heartbreak, not a business break. Okay. Because it's there. It's totally there. It's absolutely attainable. But you seem to be the only obstacle in your way. This is completely feasible. And it's someone you're very attracted to. It's almost like you don't really want to look at it, even though it's a soulmate. You've learned enough in your past connections to be able to be with a soul bond now. There's nothing holding you back but you. And it's also time to let go of that past pain. Take the lesson, leave the pain. It's not going to serve you going forward. Okay. This is going to be really easy for you. This is going to change your life in a way that you did not see coming. Okay. You may have to move for it. But once it's clear that it's love on both sides, it's going to change your physical world immediately. So the only thing standing in your way is you. You're going to get through it and get to the point of confidence, so I'm not worried about you. Okay. You're going to get over the Two of Pentacles to the Ace and offer the Ace, because I feel like you're the one that's offering. Okay. And with that, good luck, guys. Alrighty, Virgo. Let's dig in to see what sort of weekend it's going to be for. Whoop. Devil trying to pop out there. Card of Capricorn. See what kind of weekend it's going to be for Virgo. Oh, everything's upside down. Did I do everything upside down? Yep, I did. Four of Pentacles, Four of Wands, King of Cups, Scorpio energy. Tower, Scorpio energy again, Judgment. Getting used to the setup still. Judgment, Two of Cups, Queen of Swords, Six of Pentacles. It looks like something challenging is happening this weekend. Six of Wands. 4466. Okay. It feels like a connection is coming to an end. It feels like the time is over to hold on to something that you thought that was once stable. It even could have been loving at one time, but I'm actually getting that someone has some strong Scorpio points in their chart. Okay, for it to be here twice. There's no stopping this. There's no stopping this. Okay. Um, hmm. So I don't know if it could be the feminine that's cutting this out, but you must know this was a legit Two of Cups, but it does feel like the passion for it has fizzled out, or the feminine has withheld it. Got it. I'm getting the feminine has withheld it and has started looking elsewhere. Have they had a full blown affair? I'm not seeing that. It's possible, but they're looking. They're looking. So they're slowing their energy with the masculine here. Okay. There's something about this connection used to be like it's come across as wild and fun, even perhaps maybe a little reckless. Um, but I don't know why she has made this choice to withhold. Because there's some sort of mentality here where she thinks that giving very little to this and getting all she got out of it was a good deal for her, which is a shitty perspective for a romantic relationship. The masculine seems to just want to continue to hold on to this thing that was once stable, but it hasn't been stable for a while, actually. The stability is the illusion. Okay, the stability is the illusion. Um, and the fear of the unknown seems to be a little bit consuming. A little bit consuming because I'm hearing, where am I going to go? Okay. Ah, someone has been learning something new. Okay. Something will be learned from this ending, painful ending, Ten of Swords underneath there, where it's going to be easier than you thought to start again. It's going to take a little bit of time, okay? But once you kind of crack that ceiling, it's going to be smooth sailing. This is a connection that the masculine had a lot of patience with. Perhaps he built the stability for it, because if she's looking at it like she only had to put so little into it to get so much out of it, and he's now trying to hold on to it, he probably put the most stability into it. I know that's a blanket generalization, but that's what it feels like here, because there's the resistance of not wanting to let this crumble and her already looking outside of the connection. So do what you can to protect your energy as this crumbles. Don't hold on. Let go. Because if you don't let go, the universe is going to drag you kicking and screaming. And you're already going through enough. Okay. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, Libra. Let's see if it's going to be a good weekend for Libra. Is it going to be a good weekend for Libra? World, fixed energy, Ace of Swords, Seven of Cups, Tower, Scorpio energy, Seven of Wands, Hangman, Star, Five of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Okay. This is tough, but it's good. It's tough, but it's good. So, okay. Something is coming to a point of completion because of some truth that comes out. Okay, something is coming to the point of completion that cuts through any confusion. Okay, this feels like something that's kind of been a longer misunderstanding, like it's not something that just happened this last week. This feels bigger. And that's fixed energy. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and we have Scorpio again and Aquarius again. For those of you keeping track of Zodiac on the board, there's something here where truth cuts through confusion in such a way that it's a tower for someone and it doesn't feel like it's you. For the person maybe you're telling the truth to. They don't want to see it from a perspective other than the one that they have already adopted for themselves. Okay. This is something that you're done being patient with. You're done being patient with. And it looks like this is going to move you, perhaps literally, move you. It is fated for you to move away from this, whether figuratively or literally. For someone, it's literally. And when you move, you're actually moving into something you really love to do. And it's paving the path for a new love connection. This is a fated thing. So as uncomfortable at this as this is, to have this conversation, it must be had. It must be had. Someone doesn't want to. You could try to block a tower all you want. Good luck. Good luck. Okay. The patience that you have had with this situation, the situation that was once very happy, the patience you've had for this has run out. Okay. This has cost you in a way that it's almost like it's difficult to explain. Like it hasn't just cost you, money and resources and maybe a few nights sleep. There's something here that cost you deep. That it cannot be excused. It cannot be excused. Okay? It's not possible to just turn around and be like, I forgive you. Everything's totally fine. We can just move forward from this. No, 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 no. Whatever it is that it cost you, it made quite a deep dent, okay, that probably you had to fix on your own. Yeah. There was a struggle for that. Okay. There's something where this other person really has, perhaps they have like the authority in the situation. Could be a boss, could be a partner. There's something where in whatever this situation pertains to, this person you're admitting this truth to is the point of authority. So, but it's someone who can't handle argument, being argued with. They can't handle confrontation. Thank you. They can't handle confrontation. They could even possibly flee and leave it behind and leave you standing there because they can't handle confrontation. You see through the bullshit. You understand everyone who's involved's motives. This is a situation that has gone on for so long. You are well practiced and well versed in all parties involved. So no one can slip one past you. Okay. In this lesson becomes another lesson of personal stability in oneself and in one's physical world. So this is going to end a bit painfully. Take the lessons. Take the lessons, leave everything else. Okay. And there's gonna be some value to you for your future self. It's not gonna feel like it now. That's okay. Just transition on out. Say the truth that needs to be said, let the tower fall, and let fate take its course. Okay? You got this, guys. Alrighty, Scorpio, let's see if it's going to be a good weekend for Scorpio. See if it's going to be a good weekend for Scorpio. Okay. Libra's was a little bit intense. Let's see what you guys are going to get. Okay. Nine of Wands, Devil. Oop, that was flipped over in the deck. Oh yeah, it fell over. It fell out of the deck in Virgo's shuffle, so I guess I put it back upside down. Five of Wands, Queen of Swords, Empress, card of Taurus and Libra, Ace of Pentacles. Knight of Swords, Four of Wands, Chariot. Ooh. Someone wants to move towards an Empress like lightning. Lightning speed. Lightning speed. There's been a lot of fear around this pursuit. A lot of fear and struggle around this pursuit. Capricorn energy there with the Devil. Taurus and Libra and Cancer for those keeping track of Zodiac on the board. There's been a lot of struggle. around a resistance and struggle around this fear of pursuing this Empress. It's clear as day that this is someone that you should not even think twice about. You should already be at this person's front door. This is something you already know. But getting past your own perceived obstacles has been holding this up. This is being evaluated this weekend. And this is something that actually looks like you are putting in to action with the fastest knight in the deck and the fastest card in the deck. Fastest knight, Knight of Swords, fastest card, Chariot, card of Cancer. Because of a Four of Wands. Is this a twin flame you want to return to? Because Empress, Four of Wands, you've been watching her. You've been watching her while she's been healing. Yes, she is a lover. Yes, she is a lover. I'm getting a bit of an age gap vibe here. An age gap vibe. Like there's something taboo about your connection that the rest of the world would frown upon, kind of thing. Like one could be employer, employee, or there could be like a 15-year age gap or something like that. Something where people go, oh, why? But it's twin flames. There's usually some sort of taboo attached to it. Excuse me. What is it you want to offer? Looks like an apology. Something about a promise. Taurus energy with the Hierophant. Something about a promise. It's like you want to promise you won't hold back in manifesting this now, this time. This time. Okay, this time. So this has gone around at least one time before. You want to start over? You want to talk? That would make you happy. That would make you very, very happy. To balance up with the Ten of Cups, that actually was the wish this whole time. What did you learn? Death card, Scorpio. There you are. That if you want something, you have to take the risk for it. When it comes to love, thank you. When it comes to love, you have to risk it. You have to risk it. Interesting. Very interesting. It feels like this Five of Wands just wasn't your struggle of perceived obstacles. It feels like other people made perceived obstacles for you as well. Okay. It could be, your friend group. It could be family, how they think about what they think about this connection if you talk about it. This doesn't feel like it was something that you sang from the rooftops, to be honest. It feels like something that was denied over and over. Okay. But now over the course of this weekend, you're getting through these obstacles. You're getting into what to offer. What to offer. Because you got to go big if you left behind a twin flame. If you left behind a twin flame and you're coming back, that means you have no idea what she went through in connection and disconnect with you. If she was the awakened twin, that means the ending was exceptionally painful for her. So you gotta go big when you offer. You gotta go big. Okay. This is something you're accepting that you want. It's very clear to you next steps to take. It's just a matter of pulling the trigger to go. You should already be at her door. Okay. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, Sagittarius. Let's dig in to see what sort of weekend we have in store for you. Is it going to be a good weekend for Sagittarius? Okay. Queen of Pentacles, Emperor, Nine of Swords. That's Aries energy with the Emperor. Knight of Wands, Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands. Come on. There we go. Three of Cups, Page of Swords. Two of Wands. Feels like getting through this is overall good because this is working through stuff that needs to be worked through. That's good. Okay. Because then we could heal, we could evolve, and that's always a good thing. Okay. So there's something where spousal dynamic and what it is that you wish for is being reevaluated. There's something about specifically how it makes you feel to have proper partnership. There's a lot of fear into getting into a spouse sort of connection again. Perhaps you've already been through one, because it almost looks like this Emperor is looking for something that's a little bit less than him. Not saying Queen of Pentacles is less, but a little bit lesser than him, so you don't fear the connection as much, so you feel some sort of, I know this is going to come off wrong, but some sort of superiority. So if it's lost, then it's not such a big deal. Okay. There's something to be digested, processed, and moved on from when it comes to that mentality. Okay. And because there's an immaturity to this perspective. Okay. Because what connection is going to do, no matter what, it's going to reflect back at you that which you need to look at a little bit closer within yourself. And if there's no willingness to change in order to balance the connection, and not change for the other person, but evolve things that are immature about ourselves still, if there's still resistance of that, there's going to be beautiful connections that come along that are going to be easily forfeited. Okay, soul bond right there in the middle, moving on from it. It looks like you've already learned that lesson recently with another fire sign or someone that you found very, very attractive. Okay. Because there is a Ten of Pentacles, a Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles on the way. And they're not an option, but there's something here where it's like when they show up, there's something almost a little bit confusing to you, to the heart space. So if you don't process this, you won't correctly see them when they show up. Okay. If you don't correctly see them when they show up, you will handle the connection incorrectly, poorly, badly, whichever fits. Okay. Because if you don't see it correctly, you won't treat it accordingly. Okay. It feels like there is someone in the process of all of this. I mean, it could be that Queen of Wands, that past Queen of Wands. It's like, almost like you're seeing someone, you're watching someone make a new choice. It's almost like you're trying to, if you're like watching them online, or if you know you're close, closer proximity, it feels like you're watching this person for the sake of evaluating if reconnection is possible. In the meantime, and then you catch them in the space of making a new choice. Two of Wands isn't just isn't just a crossroads or a choice points. It's also new partnerships or contracts. So it feels like there's a little bit of a low-key stalking to see if they would be trying to evaluate if they would be open to reconnection with you while they're on the precipice of making a decision for new partnership. Like even if they want to get back out there and date or not, for example. So process, evolve, forward. Those are the steps. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, Capricorn, let's see if it's going to be a good weekend for you guys. Is it going to be a good weekend for Capricorn? Is it going to be a good weekend? Ooh, we're starting something. Okay. We're collaborating. Let's see. Okay. Is it going to be a good weekend for Capricorn? Nine of Wands, Five of Swords, Three of Pentacles. I really wanted to come out. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Three of Cups, Three of Swords. You have three of the three. It's Ten of Pentacles. Oh, good. Yeah, technically this is good. It's not going to feel the greatest, but this is good. Okay. So there's something that you are starting that you're not really talking about to anyone. Okay. That you're kind of keeping more to yourself than anything else. There's something that's like in the works, even if it's still just in your mind floating around. There's something about here of playing your cards close to your chest. You might be telling some of your closest friends, but that's really about it, because you know that there is a 10 of Pentacles coming to an end for you. Whether that's a relationship, whether it's a family dynamic, a job, a work environment. But you know you're going to be okay, though. Pisces energy there with the High Priestess. You know you're going to be okay, though. This is a huge transition. No matter what you tell friends and stuff, they're really not going to get the gist of it, of how overwhelmed you may feel. So you're kind of keeping it close to your chest. Okay. You know there's a karmic payout here. Like I've gone through so much of this shit. I deserve a payout. I did for all I've learned. Libra energy there underneath. I deserve a payout. I know there's a payout for all that I've learned. And if you know that, that's usually true. Okay. It feels like there's a new perspective on an authority figure in your life, or it could be an Aries. It could also be business owner, boss, dad, husband, that has told you that this won't change unless you leave, essentially, unless you move your physical world elsewhere. Yes, this is a fated thing. It seems to be something that you've kind of got your eye on as it's coming in off of the horizon closer to you. Like there's a countdown. Thank you. Like there's a countdown. You know that this is going to happen, and you're doing your best to be ready for this to basically kind of fall apart. To kind of fall apart. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Three of Wands, Eight of Swords. You've been carrying this for a bit. You've been carrying this for a bit. Keeping an eye on how things may or may not change and what opportunities that you have. There's something about you not discussing the opportunities that are going to build whatever pathway to carry you out of this. Whether it could be job searching, interviewing, anything like that. But creating an exit path. Creating an exit path. I'm feeling a whole lot of like infuriated pain. Like that shaking as you, like that trembling you can get when you're just so angry and you're just trying to keep your voice from shouting when trying to communicate to another person, perhaps this emperor, because you don't want to totally lose it, but you can't keep it all in. Some of it starts to kind of bleed out. It feels so infuriating because it's kind of like, it's like if this is a parent, like if this is dad, it's like you needed him to really back you up on something and really see your side. And the fact that he just won't change fucked you over more than anything. And now you get to live with that. It was kind of like you left holding the bag. It's like, well, if you want change, then you have to change. I'm not going to change, kind of thing. Not that the person said that, but that's kind of the energy. So keep playing this poker game. You're keeping it close to your chest. You're almost there. You're almost there. And you know you're going to be okay. You know you're going to be okay. Hold on to that, please, to get you through this. Protect your energy. All right? Good luck, guys. Alrighty, Aquarius. Let's see if it's going to be a good weekend for you guys. Is it going to be a good weekend for Aquarius? Is it going to be a good weekend for Aquarius? It's been some interesting weekends for most people. Okay. Hermit card of Virgo, Ace of Swords, Three of Cups. Ooh. Star, there's your card, Aquarius. Queen of Cups, King of Wands, Leo energy. Whoops. I just need the bottom one, guys. Queen of Pentacles, Temperance, card of Sag, Two of Swords. Let's see what we got here. This is funny. It's technically a good problem to have. So is it a good weekend? It feels like an inconvenience to you, but it's actually good. So it feels like you're actually discovering that someone who's been a friend is actually much more than a friend. Okay, it's actually so much more than a friend. And the truth kind of cuts through this weekend. Okay. This is fated. You are supposed to realize this to motivate you to take action. Okay. For some reason there's frustration with this, and it's almost like this is an Aquarius that's slow to relationship. Like, well, if this is, the right person and everything, then it's going to go as slow as possible. Kind of like you want to avoid being in relationship. Perhaps you've had poor experience. I mean, sure, we all have. And now it's left kind of a bad taste in your mouth scenario. Like, okay, well, fine. If this is the right person for me, then fine. But we're going to go towards commitment as slow as freaking possible. I mean, it's an unnecessary obstacle to give yourself, but it looks like that's what you're doing. Hierophant, card of Taurus, Nine of Wands, Five of Swords, Fool. Yeah, you're really digging your heels in on avoiding taking this risk, on giving yourself permission to take this risk. Okay, that's what the Hierophant requires permission because he's that authority figure. But you want to be happy though. You want your heart to sing this Ten of Cups, but you're building yourself your own wall between you and what you want. And it is a significant thing. Four of Wands, Ten of Cups. You should be racing toward this, my dear. You should be racing toward this. You could fight me on that. That's fine. Because it's like, oh, you don't want to see that this is a legit lover's connection. King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Lovers, card of Gemini with the Eight of Swords in between. You do not want to see all that this is. This is for an Aquarius that has been single for a bit, okay? Single for a bit and not having to give their heart space to anyone in particular, so you can leave it kind of shrunk down and small, all because of a loss in the past. That's concluded. Okay. Are you sure you want to turn your back on a Queen of Wands lovers when you're the King of Wands here? If you're turning your back, there's something there where this doesn't have to be this hard. You're making this hard for yourself on purpose. Okay? It's time to ask yourself if you're willing to punish this connection for a past thing that was lost, that is not this person. Are you willing to do that? Because there will be consequences. There will be consequences. Okay? And it feels like no matter what you try to resist, if you try to resist moving it forward or moving it forward as slow as possible, you're not going to be able to stick to that. You can try. I hope it shows up in your weekly next week so we can see what happened. Okay. So sit with yourself and ask yourself as you discover this truth about this friend, do you really want to treat it this way, or do you want to embrace it and be happy? Good luck, guys. Alrighty, Pisces. Last one of the day. Let's see what sort of weekends we've got going for Pisces. Is it going to be a good weekend for Pisces? Five of Swords, Queen of Swords, Strength card of Leo, Wheel of Fortune, Hermit card of Virgo, Ten of Cups, Eight of Wands, Ten of Swords. Oof. Ten of Pentacles. Oh, look at you. There's some sort of pivotal thing. There's a moment with the Ten of Pentacles that you're in that you realize that this is not, you got 3 of the tens here. You realize that the win in your situation is ending the thing that you're in for the thing that you've always wanted. And I don't mean that to sound as frivolous as it does. Because how this reads is, let's see, we got Leo, Virgo energy here for those of you keeping track. There's a win in store for you. Okay. If you choose to be courageous, there is a win in store for you. If you choose to be courageous about the things you see in your life that you know that that are truly right and that are truly wrong. Okay. So there's a connection that has changed. And that is the Ten of Pentacles that you're in. What has been discovered is what is truly the Ten of Cups for you. It has to do with this, a hardworking empress. A hardworking empress. And it's a truth that hits pretty hard. So what happens with this, you want to let this empress know that this Ten of Pentacles that you were in is done, is over. You are available. You are available. Show me what else changed here. Ooh, what did we learn? Oh, you've been kind of keeping an eye on them, huh? Because you love them. Yep, King of Cups. I feel like you're not the only one that's kept an eye on them. Maybe the person you're with knew something too. Justice card of Libra underneath here with the Magician, Eight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. There's something that you learned about balance in relationships, manipulation in relationships, and there's something about a fine line in between the two. I don't know if the person you were already with has kind of worked that angle on you to where it turns out you've discovered that what you're in actually isn't fair to you. Okay. There's been a lot of fear about going towards the Ten of Cups. A lot of fear. A whole lot of fear. You see it plain as day, but that's a whole lot of fear. You're not as trapped as you think you are. You're not as trapped as you think you are. Ten of Cups. Yeah. Judgment. Star. Wow. Death. Scorpio. So this has already ended once and is now into it's an unknown variable now. Look at all these major arcana. It's all majors. That there's a new beginning. The only way that this would happen is if you give yourself permission to initiate one. Taurus, Pisces, Scorpio, Aquarius energy. It's a fated crossroads. You could either use it to your advantage to change your whole life for the better or stay where you're at. But it doesn't look like that's going to pan out. Okay. You want to rush towards this Empress to tell her. And all it's going to do is take the courage. I see planning. I see thinking about it, thinking of taking action. I don't see the actual taking of action. So that needs to be said, especially for the cross-watcher. I don't see the actual taking action. I see the thinking about it. We are thinking about it. Okay. So something has happened in the Ten of Pentacles relationship for Pisces where you see that fine line your partner has been walking between making things seem balanced and fair and being manipulated. It takes a certain kind of jerk to master that art, and it looks like it's been used on you for some time. But now that that's hit, the epiphany has hit, the clarity is going to ripple through life, and you're going to see your life a bit differently. This is for the best. Good luck with this, guys.